What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as basic attention token BAT to US dollar. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, turn post notifications on, and leave a giant like if you want to see more content like this. Otherwise, let's move on to today's episode. Before I begin, hopefully you guys liked that little intro I did. Yes, I did get the iPhone 10X Max, whatever you 10XS Max. No, I didn't spend all my money on it, and instead of investing it into Litecoin, I know a lot of you guys were commenting about that and letting me know from my Instagram and Snapchat if you guys did follow me. Very funny. My upgrade was up. That is the only reason why I got it, so I really didn't pay much of anything. Like it was very, very, very cheap for what it is actually worth if you have the Apple upgrade program. So that's pretty much that. Hopefully you guys do like my little makeshift setup that I'm using. It's kind of funny. Like I said, I'm home from college for Thanksgiving, so my setup is back up at school. I didn't want to bring it all home, so I am using this little makeshift setup that I have right now in my basement. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So we're going to be talking about some capitulation that's happening within the market. Obviously looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, their technical analysis. We do have an article discussing all of that stuff, kind of a little recap of what we discussed yesterday, and then we will be looking at the current coin market cap on the page that we have up right now. So let's dive into that right now. You guys can see we have a current market cap of 150 billion. We have a 24-hour volume of 17.8, Bitcoin dominance 53.2. So we have a occurring rising Bitcoin dominance ever so slightly, but it is going up at 53.2%. We have a 24-hour volume of 17.8, so we are slowly coming back down. Oops. We were at around 24 and around a little above 20 yesterday, 24 billion the day before, and we are slowly coming down, so we are consolidating out. That volume is leaving the market, and you can see the market cap is 150, so we are actually going back up, which is a good thing. I believe you saw 140, 130 market cap yesterday and the day before. So we are seeing money move back in. That's usually what happens after we see such bloody markets. I got to be careful with what I'm saying right now because I did get flagged for using the word bloodbath in my title in my last video. So I had to change that. So YouTube's very sensitive with that. So I got to be careful. Otherwise, on that note, so we are seeing a bounce, which was, honestly expected when we see prices dip that low. We usually hit a bottom and then, or a floor, a price floor. If you're into, micro, macroeconomics, you have price floors, price ceilings. We hit the price floor and now we're, bumping up pretty much the lowest it can go at a time. This is it. Now we're, correcting off of that. And as you guys can see, markets are up fairly well. It was a good buying opportunity. A lot of people were telling me in the past, I've been saying, oh, buy at this level, buy at this level, buy at this level. I say that in regards to buy it lower and then sell it high in the short term. These are short-term trading positions, buying it last night and selling it today or tomorrow. If we continue to go up, you can make a short-term play and make some slight money. I'm not saying buy it at $400 and just hold on to it in the long run. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about short-term plays leading on into the future. Otherwise, as you guys can see, the markets are up. They're all green. It's pretty wild, actually. After a major dip, we do like to see a pullback in the upwards direction. Moving on, though, you guys can see we have Bitcoin at 45. We have XRP at 0.44. They're both up 3 or 4%. Litecoin up 4.4%. Everything's up around 4 or 5%. We have 6%. Let's see the change in 24. Nexo is up 30% today. And then let's see anything down. We have Nasdaq down 8.3%. Some pretty small coins. I've heard about Monocoin. I think we have reviewed that too on the channel. Otherwise, moving on to clarify things. I know we're not discussing XRP, but I know I have a lot of fans out there who are interested in XRP. So I do have an article discussing that slightly, what is going on in there, since we are not reviewing that in depth today. As for an article on, this is Cointelegraph, we're reviewing pretty much a little recap of what I said yesterday. So it says bottoms are formed during market capitulations. After Bitcoin broke below the critical support of $5,900, investors dumped their holdings, fearing a complete loss on investment. For someone who does not believe in the future of cryptos and who was in it only for making a quick buck, it might not be the right thing to do, which is what we're seeing. or it might be the right thing to do to sell off and get out of it, basically the weak hands like we've referred to in the past. However, for the others who believe in the story of blockchain and crypto, the current fall offers a great opportunity to invest for the long term. Like we've discussed, these are good levels to be buying in. $34, you know, a coin. The price is pretty cheap. You know, you want to talk about Black Friday, 50% off. Litecoin is here and it's pretty darn cheap, 80% off. During bottom formations, the outlook is almost very dire, and every bit of news is viewed as negative. One such news was the U.S. Justice Department investigating the probability of Bitcoin manipulation in 2017 using stablecoin Tether. Now, we have reviewed that in the past, and it's weird that this is saying it's negative news. I think it's potentially positive news. The fact that they're getting involved in it to end this is positive. They're solving a negative, you know, action though that did happen. So it's interesting. It depends on how you want to look at this. It's whether you look at it, you know, the glass half empty or the glass half full. That's pretty much how you can base your, you know, answer off these articles. Otherwise, it says after the fall, while naysayers are claiming victory for forecasting a further fall, the bulls see an opportunity to buy for the long term. It is difficult to predict a bottom when markets are gripping for fear. Are in fear, hence we believe it is better to wait for the markets to show signs of stabilization before attempting to buy again. Otherwise, moving on, I did want to discuss what XRP is doing. I know because we aren't doing the graphs. I know a few of you guys are interested in that. So it says Ripple has emerged as one of the outperformers during the recent fall. It has stretched its lead over Ethereum and becoming the second most valuable crypto in terms of market cap. That is something that I did notice and I did point out. XRP is number 2 right now currently, and it's about $4 billion in market cap higher than Ethereum. So that's something to note. It says XRP is currently finding support between the trend line and 40 cents. Both the moving averages remain flat, which points to a range-bound action in the near term. On the upside, a 0.519 and 0.565 will act as resistances, so 51 to 56 cents. On the downside, if the bears sink prices below 40 cents, a fall to 37 cents and below that to 26 or 27 cents is probable. Though we are relatively bullish on the digital currency, we shall wait for a new buy setup to form before proposing any trades. Otherwise, moving on to Litecoin right now, a big thing that I did want to point out within Litecoin is the fact that we do have this support level here. And we've discussed this. I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. We have a support right here. We have this downtrend, and we broke bullish from the downtrend. We traded out of it, and then we fell down and used it as a support and a means of correcting and bounced up off and shot up to a higher level. Started at $48, shot all the way up to $56, $55. You can see what I'm referring to. This is the downtrend. We broke through it and then corrected back down because we could not break our high-low minimum moving averages, back down to being oversold on the 4-hour, and then shot back up. What's interesting now that is happening is you can see how far away we came from the downtrend, and then we fell again. And where did we fall to? We fell right back down to our downtrend. So we did correct back down, found a support at $40, but continue to fall. And where is it completely stopping? Where did it consolidate out to? Where is it stabilizing? It's downtrend. It's very interesting, you know, so it's very odd. You know, we've been battling this as a resistance in the past, having issues breaking above it. And now that we're above it, it seems like we're using it as a support to lower ourselves farther down, which is very, very, very interesting. So we did break bearish, but now we're using it as a support to hold us up, even though it's headed back down. So we're going to see whether or not, I do not believe we're going to break this anytime soon. I'd be very shocked if we do break below it. We are using it as a support. I do think we should potentially start to move up. Yes, we are back in a more neutral territory on that relative strength index. We are not currently oversold at the moment. We were at 9 as of yesterday. Yes, 9 p.m. yesterday. So we're currently not oversold at the moment. It looks like this is really tanking, though, the high-low MMA, and it seems like it's going to really try to retest its price action right here. So it's a very possible chance these two can meet up in the middle right at around that $40 level. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a small move of Litecoin back to around $40. Bitcoin, literally, as I said yesterday, and I am so excited to say it again, I said yesterday that we're going to see a retracement because of how strong the weekly support is. And you guys can quote me on this. You can go back in yesterday's video and look at what I said. I said yesterday, this is a huge support for Bitcoin. As you guys can saw, we drew in the past this purple line right here. I said we did have this resistance. We had a support and we had a resistance. You can see it bounce right off there, fell down lower, and then shot up as of support. Now, this is also a support level if we do decide to break lower. So I guess I will draw that in. It's very weird. We have one here, but then we also have one here. So I can draw two just because. So we have one there. We have one right here. But our purple line is what I said is a huge support at the moment. And I said just because we did break through it doesn't mean it's over. I said we're going to most likely retrace back up to the purple, and that is exactly what it's doing because of how strong that support is. And there wasn't really much support in between here, so if we did fall back down, I anticipated a retracement back up to around $4,600 as a support and as a way to stabilize and consolidate out further. So that was on the weekly. I can zoom in a little bit more. That's the daily. As you can see here, I can just maybe get this a little bit clearer. There we go. So you can see what I'm referring to in terms of us retracing back up. Yes, we have not yet broken above it, but we're about level with that support, trend line. Moving on to Ethereum, you can see it's still, it seems like there's a strong resistance over Ethereum on its daily. I'm trying to draw it out for you guys. Something like this seems to be in place right now. I'm gonna move this up a little bit. Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, clearly there is some sort of downtrend that is forming on Ethereum. Let me just delete that. You can see right here as I zoom it out. Let's delete these lines. I have a feeling my Google Chrome reset, so that is why we have all these older lines to deal with. So there we go. But you can see there is some sort of downtrend that is still hugging Ethereum, and we have yet to have breaken above it or broke above it. So we are still battling that out. We do have a smaller support back down at $100, around 197 to 100 to around 102 in that region. So from 95 to 105 in that region, there is a support right here on the daily. We can get a little bit more secure as towards what the price is when we zoom in. And I guess I could just do that now. But otherwise, we're pretty much battling this downtrend. We have yet to break it through. So I'm referring to around $98 to be exact. You can see we battled this, had some resistance there. You can see in prior, we've had tons and tons of resistance, could not break down, consolidated out, and fell. So that's pretty much what's going to happen. We're going to do it again. We're going to most likely retest $100 on Ethereum, trade it out sideways for a good couple of days, maybe until the end of December. And then we're going to see it once again, retest its downtrend, whether or not it can break through it or whether it's going to break down. And we're going to see some higher lows. We're going to have to find out. Otherwise, I had a couple people ask me to review BAT, basic attention token. For those who do not know, it seems like this coin is currently at a support level. It is also bouncing off of oversold on the relative strength index. You can see its bottom support right here at around 30. You can see it bounce very nicely off of that. You can see with the market moving up, we're seeing that resistance and that support moving the price higher up. You can see it's battling a slight resistance that it's currently at, but it's kind of in between a channel right now. So right there and right here, there is a small channel. You can see where we've had a lot of resistance in the past, a lot of support in the past. Right here, it acts as a resistance. Right here, it's a support. Right here, it's a resistance. So we are trending in between here currently. So that's kind of where this price is going to stay. I'd be very shocked if we do manage to break bullish from that and get back above it. But we could inevitably head back up to our high-low MMA and retest that. But you guys can see it is in between a support once again. You can see it bouncing off here. That's kind of what we're looking for right here. We want to see this sort of play happen once again. So consolidation is definitely possible on its daily, and then it can start to move back up. You can see where it started from was fairly average at around 48.50 on the relative strength index, and it slowly moved into being overbought. You can see we're very, very, very low at around 34 on its relative strength index, and it could consolidate out a couple of days and then move up. You can see it started off back the 21st of September and finally broke it on October 15th. So there's definitely around a couple of weeks we could be stuck in this channel right now, but that is a heads up for whoever asked for a basic attention token. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content and want to see more. Feel free to leave comments and let me know, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.